Negotiations can be very difficult for freelancers. I've come to realize a lot of designers are so uncomfortable talking about money, they very often get strong armed by clients. Now, if you want to avoid that situation, this video could probably help you out. Here are a few things you should definitely keep in mind the next time you're negotiating with your client. It's very important for you to prep yourself mentally first. What cripples a lot of people is the fear of losing the client. Having a feeling of losing a client and potentially incurring a loss will never give you an advantage when you are negotiating with a client. Remember, if the final terms are not comfortable for you, you can always say no. The way they can go ahead and find any other designer, even you can go and find another client. And the next thing is, talking about money is not at all weird. Someone's got a problem, you're giving them a solution and you're getting compensated for it. It's that simple. After being mentally prepared, remember these following things. Don't be hesitant to be the first person to go and give a number. I do understand there is a big aspect of differential pricing which designers do, because every client comes with more complex problems and a lot of briefs are more risky for certain clients. So naturally, bigger companies will invest more as compared to smaller startups. But what I've come to realize is, if you are the first person who sets a bar, you can control where the negotiation starts off, as compared to the client setting the base price. Whenever you give this number, keep a certain percentage in mind and hike up your prices. Especially in India, everybody knows you're going to end up negotiating. I've seen people bump it up by 10%, 30%, even 50% in certain cases. It's important to note though is, you can't go with an absurd price. You can't start with 1 lakh rupees and close the deal at 30,000. People will not take you seriously. Also, it's important to give a number, never give a range. If you're going to say it's going to cost 80,000 to 1 lakh, the clients are only going to hear 80,000. So stick to a fixed number. It'll also be a good idea for you to research the clients before you even get on a call. Try to understand, are they working with other freelancers? Are they working with other agencies? What kind of monies do they spend? If it is a large brand, you'll definitely find some insights on the internet. Even aspects like how much funding they have raised, how much revenues they do, will give you an understanding of what appetite they will have to invest in this exercise. And the final thing to remember is that a negotiation is successful when both parties are happy by the end of it. You can't be very stubborn, you can't be very standoffish saying, I don't care if I lose the client. And if the client senses some attitude problem, you're probably losing this client forever. So how do you ensure what's the right middle ground? Well, ask the right questions. I've not seen a lot of people ask questions, especially when they're negotiating. There is no harm in that. Why is this budget not workable for you? What do you need to make this project successful? If you end up getting this wrong, what effects will it have? Are all questions you must ask. It'll help you understand what's the actual value this design exercise will bring to the client. Also, there are various ways to negotiate. You don't have to cut the price all the time. Maybe you can have a lower advance. Maybe if it's a trustable client, you can even skip an advance. You can throw in some value-add services by giving some more extensions, like you'll create a letterhead for free, maybe a visiting card for free, or anything relevant to the brief at that point in time. You could ask for an extension in the overall timeline. You could even break up the payment milestones as per the client's comfort and make it easy for them to actually pay you. Now, it is also very possible that the client is very stubborn and they're not just willing to meet you in the middle and this project just doesn't work out for you at all. In this scenario, what you could do, especially if it's a client you genuinely value and believe in the future you can work with, refer them somebody you may have in your network. You could even convince them to try online platforms, use tools like Canva, to minimize the cost further for now. You have to make the client understand why this particular quote doesn't work for you and also empathize with them as to why it doesn't work for them. Remember, companies are always growing, money keeps on flowing in and flowing out. So you never know when the opportunity will be right for you to reconnect. I've personally seen a lot of scenarios like this, and I'm very confident that if you end things amicably, you will definitely reconnect in the future, or you may even get a referral from the client who couldn't work with you at this point in time.